Hello there. Welcome to another a talk, a podcast, a meditation, and today's one is a very interesting one. This is called Big Brother documentary film. Maybe it might have been last week I got the idea for this talk. And that's because that's exactly what it is. I've got to watch what I say in these talks as well, because I must obey YouTube, of course. But yeah, I've got to watch what I say. If any downloads come down, because as I'm doing talks I get information downloads, but I've got to watch the words I'm using, because can't mention that, you can't say that word, you can't say the other word. Right. But Big Brother, that's basically what everything's turning into. And the idea was last week, I think it was, I got this idea that the TV program Big Brother was a documentary film. It was showing us what is going on. You see, even if you're not talking about what's happening in the world, the system that's being developed. People that have had near-death experiences have said that when they went to heaven, that they got told or shown that all around us are cameras that we can't see. And that when you have near-death experience, or you go to heaven, you go to life review and everything, there's supposed to be cameras everywhere that we can't see. But if you look at what's happening in the world, that's what's going on. You see, China's a good example. And that's what's being built. And so the TV program Big Brother was just showing us what was coming. And that's what they do. They do this, the system, what the system does is they show us through TV, movies, what's actually coming. If you look at the Terminator movies, that's really what's coming just now. And Judgment Day is the awakening. So films and TV and all that kind of stuff, they let us know, subliminally what's coming. And I believe the reason the system does this is so that they've not done anything wrong karmically. That's my own belief on it. Because I believe that the system that is doing this, this is all just ideas. I don't know for sure. This is just, my own idea of it. The only way you'd want to tell someone the truth if you were doing something against them, I believe, is because they know about karma, and that they think that they're doing the right thing. There's a guy called, not Alan Watts, Alan Watt, and that's what he said. I used to watch some of his stuff. He died not that long ago, actually. He was from Scotland, but he was a very aware, awake kind of guy. You can look him up on the internet. He wasn't a fan of David Icke, by the way, so I like David Icke, but I don't know why I didn't like David Icke. He said that David Icke was stealing information, but David Icke would what he says is that he researched all the stuff he's speaking about. So he would admit that it's not his information. But Alan Watt, yeah, he was very awake and very aware, and his program was called Cutting Through the Matrix, and he's got a website as well. I don't know the web off my head. I've been on it for a while, but he spoke a lot about this stuff and what was coming, and so, you know, the Big Brother TV program. That's the way the world is being developed. You see, that's why they're developing now these headset things, and they're, you know, I mean, I can't go too far on these on this talk because my talk won't go up. I've had strikes, and strikes have been removed, and they took 3 talks down last week that I did because I was telling the truth and I don't want people to hear the truth. So, but I've got to say things in a certain way. I don't mention about the COVID stuff or climate change or anything like that. I'm not even saying that much about the grid, just about what we can already see is happening. You know, and it's obvious why it's happening, because they want to control everything. And why would people or beings or anyone want to do that? Well, because they're control freaks. That's why. You know, that's why I don't vote. If you look at these kind of the politicians and people in power, they've all got that same thing. They want to control. You know, and that's because they are basically, if there's such thing as narcissistic consciousness, that's what they are. And that's why you'd want to control everything. You see? But there's an awakening happening. And that's the thing, and there's a massive spiritual awakening happening. And that's what I believe they're trying to stop. But you know, not only Big Brother was a documentary film, but yeah, everything they show us is that they're just letting us know what's coming. You see, that's what they do. And Alan Watt said, as I mentioned earlier, he said they do this because of karma, because they believe that if they tell you the truth, then they're not doing anything wrong. You see. In a way, that's true. You're not doing anything wrong if you tell the truth. And that's why they do that. Remember, you know, all comes from the top and is handed down to the sheeple. You know? And if you want to go deeper with this, you know, there's a simulation and everything. You know, and we're already, you know, the things that's being built just now, like Meta, for example, that's basically a simulation. And that's so basically, not Alan Watt, Elon Musk said a few years ago that this reality would end up being so similar to like a simulation, and you wouldn't be able to differentiate between the two. They'd be the same, basically. And like I mentioned at the start of this talk, if there's people that have had near-death experiences, they say that when they went to the spirit world, that they found out that there's cameras everywhere, but we just can't see them. I hope they'll leave us alone in private moments, or else, you know, you'll be making porn and not even realise you're doing that. But yeah, that's what they're building just now. You know, they obviously want to control the ins and outs of everything, you know, and it really is a narcissistic society. And the narcissists are really at the top. And if you want to look at it from a wider angle, a global angle, you know, all the issues that are going on between regular people are actually the collective's issues. Like, I believe that my own spiritual awakening path, a lot of the things I've been healing from is actually the global issues that I'm healing from. You see, and because when you awaken, you open up to everything. And yeah, that's what's going on. But if you think of the people that rule this world, they must be very narcissistic to want to control the ins and outs of everything, to go to the level where you want to control what's in the food, you want to control this, that, the other. You know, they want to control everything that we're consuming, whether it's mind, body, spirit. And you're dealing with a very narcissistic / fearful force. Same thing. Fear is narcissism. You know, that's what makes someone narcissistic. It's subconscious fears. And so as we go through this awakening, we're actually healing these issues. You see? That's really what's going on. Is the awakening, people that are going through these awakenings, they're going within, they're actually healing the collective's issues. And so that eventually there's a system that is actually not narcissistic, but it's working for us rather than against us. You see? But you have to have the bad guys in the movie to lead to the good. You see? It's like you have to have the dark sky to see the stars. And that's where the awakening is going to take us. The awakening will take us in a direction of realizing why these bad things had to take place. And that it is helping us to come to understanding and clarity and insight about ourselves and things and reality. And so the bad things that's happening isn't to stop the awakening, even though it appears that way. It is the awakening. You see? And if you think of it, the Big Brother system that's being built is revealing to us what's going on in the other realities as well. You know, that I believe what near-death experiencers say, that there's cameras on the other side. That in heaven or wherever, you know, that world's that they can see everything that we're doing. I don't like that. But it might be, and on that, you know, level, it might be to watch that we're okay. As long as they don't watch private things, I'd rather not. But if there's cameras everywhere, then there's cameras everywhere. I don't know. Remember, when I do these talks, a lot of it is just ideas. I had, like I've mentioned before, an unexpected spiritual awakening 10 years ago at 24. I'm 34 now. And a lot of the stuff is just ideas that come, and some of it is channeled messages. It's a mixture. You know, so I'm not saying for definite. You know, I think I believe I have an insight into where things are going with the awakening, but it's only my ideas. And if you think of it, everything's that, like Steve Jobs once said, everything is made up by people who are no more smarter than you. And I think I'll just leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research and much more, please do check my website at www.lovelikefamily.com. Thank you.